Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of my video podcast, It's Time with Mickela Panday. Today's episode was intended to be a discussion on the important issue of administrative reform in the context of establishing efficient, honest, accountable and transparent bureaucracy. However, given the series of events over the last few weeks involving the marred non-appointment of the next police commissioner, which culminated in utter chaos in our parliament on Thursday, I felt it was necessary to address this issue, following which we will have discussions in the upcoming week. It is my intention to bring a clearer understanding of this matter to the public by going through the law and facts chronologically without bias, prejudice, or political posturing. Keeping in mind at all times the need for accountable and transparent governance. First, the law as it stands. The Police Service Commission has the power to appoint a person to hold or act in the office of Commissioner of Police. In doing so, there is a process they must follow which is prescribed by the Constitution that states that the Police Service Commission appoints a substantive or acting Commissioner of Police after producing a merit list of the candidates, submitting the list to the President. The President is then required to issue a notification to Parliament and then send the merit list there. It is then for Parliament to approve the candidate on the list, and then the Police Service Commission appoints the approved candidate. Seems pretty straightforward given this same procedure was employed in 2018 when a police commissioner was last appointed. So how did we get to the position where there is no police commissioner and the opposition was seeking to impeach the president? Put simply, the Police Service Commission on the 11th of August submitted to the president a merit list for police commissioner. According to the president, that list was subsequently withdrawn hours later. It follows logically. Because of that withdrawal, the president had no merit list to send to Parliament. This led to weeks of debate and speculation, which could have been avoided with a simple answer from the chairman of the Police Service Commission, Bliss Seepersad, as to why she withdrew the list. What followed was a series of unfortunate controversies, including leaked communications and the copying of confidential internal emails by another member of the Police Service Commission, which all only served to fuel further speculation of a controversy. Things then heightened on the 27th of September when the opposition leader said that she had information that indicated the Prime Minister met with the President to influence the selection process. This led the opposition leader to file a motion under Section 36 of the Constitution seeking to remove the President from office on the ground of bringing the office into disrepute. It is my humble view, as a former Member of Parliament, this move was ill-advised and not properly thought through. The Speaker is not a law unto herself and was bound by constitutional procedure when issuing the guidelines for the motion. It is hoped that the opposition leader was advised of the limits of the constitutional motion for impeachment of the President that she brought, and was also made aware that the standing orders of the House of Representatives provides other ways of bringing a motion against the President that will allow for debate. This is important because accountability and transparency are the cornerstones of development and democratic government. However, until there is constitutional reform, we are bound by the Constitution as it stands today. The Constitution lays down the procedure for the removal of the president from office. It says specifically that the motion states with full particulars the grounds on which his or her removal from office is proposed. What is highly worrying is that the motion brought to Parliament as procedurally required by the Constitution did not contain a single factual assertion that pointed to misbehavior in public office. The purpose of that requirement is to establish whether you have made out a case or not. After the debacle that occurred in the Parliament on Thursday, which left viewers and listeners shocked at what they were witnessing, I am still at a loss as to why, if any evidence exists, the opposition continues to keep it a secret from the public. Whilst no one is above the law, equally, whether it is the government or the opposition, no one should be allowed to use parliamentary privilege as a shield to debate accusations they cannot prove. That being said, we are still faced with the pressing issue that today our country is still without a police commissioner. That is worrying because all the powers of appointment, promotion, transfer, and discipline over all police officers reside with the Commissioner of Police in relation to the ranks from Assistant Commissioner all the way down to Constable. It is the Commissioner of Police who has the full command and superintendence of most of the police service. Accordingly, Deputy Commissioner of Police Jacob cannot appoint, promote, transfer, or discipline any officer below him, which is a recipe for disaster. So what is the solution? Firstly, we need to bring stability to the country immediately. To do that, the process of appointing a police commissioner must be restarted, beginning with the appointment of the members of the Police Service Commission by the President after consultation with the Prime Minister and Leader of the Opposition, as is the law. As we move forward, let us not forget the desperate need for reform of our outdated Constitution. 3 times in our country's history, a government had a constitutional majority in the Parliament to do so without the support of the opposition. The PNM under Dr. Eric Williams, the NAR under A.N.R. Robinson, and the People's Partnership under Kamla Persad-Bissessar. Now that we have reached this constitutional crisis, it is my hope that both the government and the opposition will see the important need for genuine constitutional reform and begin the process. In closing, I would also like to remind those who represent us in the Parliament that we are in a pandemic with curfew restrictions still in force. Our children's education is in limbo with no clear direction. There are people who have lost their jobs and their homes, all whilst the economy remains stagnated. Find a way to work together to put the interests of the people first. A house divided against itself cannot stand. Causing unrest when we need unity will hurt everybody. I thank you for your time.